All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back to close out our week for this Friday, May 20th. Great to see Lewis and Norman and Charles and Ronald and all of us rejoining us live inside the Cyber Group Trading Room. Welcome on back for all of us live in social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. Let's hop right back to it, folks. We have the IMMX on the screen here just to begin. One of our students was asking just earlier, is anyone trading the bottom? It's an interesting question to ask, for something that was pretty volatile and moving very nicely in pre-market like this. For what goes up does come back down, right? And with such a nasty drop, well, that created a lot of volatility. A lot more volume got filled as support levels were breaking. So it actually makes this stock more tradable in that regard, in the sense of, maybe more volatility now at this point compared to like the last hour. But for as much as this stock pumped up in pre-market, it popped after the open, it dropped all the way back down. It would not surprise me if this just keeps sinking into the close. So listen, for anyone that jumped in maybe earlier, Ronald got 10 cents on his trade. Norman tried to go under and over off of 261 earlier. He got out just in time. Charles, if Charles is trying to trade the bottom right now in from around 220 or maybe like 215, if you're in from there, hey, you're doing pretty good so far. Hopefully you get a nice squeeze back up. But I'll be honest, right now, I am not expecting a bigger move back up. If we end up seeing that during this meeting, then I'll definitely be more likely to put it back on our list, the IMMX. But definitely be careful at this point. So much sell-off just came in, and especially around the 240 level, not just 230, but 240. Those were two huge levels from pre-market trading. All right, so for right now, folks, you see the market. It's on the 5-minute chart on the bottom there, the SPY. And I had mentioned this during, if not the meeting here yesterday, about 24 hours ago, then it was in the live trading room. We talked about this, and I was saying, for how flat of a close as we had, you definitely know there is going to be some big fireworks for tomorrow, for today, that is. So with that, well, the SPY ended up beginning to bounce at first off a big support, but it failed to break higher. And when it fails to break higher, well, there's only one other way it's going to go, right? And as soon as the SPY ended up breaking under support, I believe that was off of 391.86, 391.86. That was the closing price, I believe, back from Tuesday or Wednesday's trading. Huge support. Once it broke, that was it. No looking back. SPY ended up completely tanking from that point. It's been a drop off all day today. And with that, I do want to show the SPY chart in full at the end of this meeting. Hopefully it doesn't like freeze and crash up my screen or whatnot. But, I'll show the SPY on the monthly scale, on the monthly chart, and I'll give you my outlook at least over the next, couple of months as we look to see support get tested. But let's go right from top to bottom. Otherwise here, nothing on our list so far, but let's see if there's anything that can make the cut. The GOVX trade to begin. It's a cheapie. Ended up making a nice pop earlier after the market opened, roughly from 80 upwards to even like close to 110. It ended up breaking above 110 going into the early afternoon, but from there fell back down. Trying to make another run right now. So, I pretty much said it earlier on IMMX, except this one didn't dump off as hard. But, I want to come back to this at the end if we need to even. But for right now, not doing it really here. The GOVX trade. It's like a nice level one stock like the IMMX, just, very liquid, tight spread. It's not shaking around 20, 30 cents a clip. So in that regard, it's much safer compared to otherwise. But I don't know, not really feeling it just yet. I'll come back to it if we get one more pop. Now, as we continue to go through, hey, it's a Friday. It's kind of mid-month still at this point. So, I bet you towards the end of next week, even though we're heading into Memorial Day weekend, it's the end of the month. We should get a lot of volatility for next Friday. For this Friday, I don't know if we're going to see as much volatility here for the afternoon. So we got to try and be a little picky. I want to see if there's anything that we can just find near the highs or at the lows. The SIGA trade could be that one, if anything. We don't need a big list. All we really need is just one. So if there is one stock so far I could easily just put on the watch list, it would be SIGA. Ended up making a really good move after the open. It did take a while for that trend to develop, but there was a big payoff, as you could see. Ended up breaking out pretty nicely. But the bigger talking point on this trade, if anything, I don't have my book map, my level 4 up for this, folks, so I do apologize. I would have shown it. But, there was this huge iceberg order that popped up on the bid throughout the early morning after the market opened up, and that was at $9. And then they basically moved their order up in order to squeeze this here. So they were moving their order up from 9 to 9.20, and that was there for a while. And then from there, they pulled it from $9.20 and pushed it up to 10. And it's been smooth up and running since. So for right now, I mean, this stock is easily just a short squeeze. We could label it as such. Nonetheless, for right now, we'll see if this stock can continue to push higher heading into the close. I was looking for support to hold earlier off the 11 level here, heading into like 130, 145 time. And it was a little shaky at first. I didn't jump in it at all. I was just making a call out here. I was hoping for it to hold better than it did. But, hey, right now, actually, here as we went into this meeting, this was the better hold. So if we can get the higher high coming up very shortly from now, I'll be pretty happy. All-time high on this stock, too, if I'm not mistaken, was back from 2011. I think that was at $15 roughly. Yeah, here we go. 15.21 back from March of 2011. So, not at all-time highs yet, but it's getting pretty damn close here, right? So definitely want to keep an eye on this SIGA trade. NNVC. I didn't see the ticker on the gainer side until now. This stock actually is a familiar name to a lot of us here. Just over the years, you could see, and this is just the monthly chart still. I'm going to keep it on the monthly just because I'm going to go over the SPY at the end, but just pop and drop type of stock. We've done well on the stock, but it's obviously not a swing trade. It's, strictly a day trade, when we do trade it off of news. So, it's actually at the highs right now, technically, but not really trading really any respectable volume per minute. All right, water break number 1 there. TXMD up over 25% for right now. This one trading a lot more volume per minute. You could tell based off the number in white right there. That number is always subject to change and could wane down should we stop seeing a lot of volume get traded here. But for right now, it's trending back on up pretty nicely. It looks pretty good, very tradable, right? Hey, we only have the SIGA trade on the watch list so far. So given this uptrend here on TXMD, why not? Get trade, this one just flat. AEMD, kind of making the same move to a degree as TXMD, but this one trading less volume per minute, like kind of a spotty chart. You could see that there. Remember, it's a Friday, so, you normally don't expect a lot, and maybe next Friday, perhaps end of the month. Let's see, but market's obviously down. So UVIX is on the gainer side, UVXY, which is the one that we're a lot more familiar with inside this live trading room. UVXY making another big push today as the markets are falling off. So easily we'll put this on our list here. Especially for a lot of us that do well on this one, in particular. So whether it be UVXY or VIXY or SQQQ, it might be a VIX ETF, it might be an inverse or bearish ETF to the Qs or, the SPY here. But, those will all be moving here heading into the close. But let's see if there's any stocks at least that we could follow. And keep in mind, with the markets down, folks, I always like to cross my T's, dot my I's when I do this meeting. We always have new members join us here, each and every day. It's to say that obviously the market's tanking. So I just have to, like I said, cross my T's, dot my I's. I got to go through the gainer side here first. I'm not expecting to find much of anything aside from those ETFs, really. But, hey, there could be something going against the grain, and SIGA for that matter, right? All right, so the AGRI trade now, as I kind of look back at my chart, as I kind of finish up skimming through here, AGRI is pushing up. It's a stock that we are pretty familiar with at this point. We've done really well on it, really basically off its IPO, but most notably over this past week. So, I could put it on our list. It's pretty close to the highs of the day, at least for right now. And I think I'll do that. Just kind of selling myself into doing that. You can kind of hear. So let's hop on over to the loser side for right now. The SPY we'll get to at the end. It's basically at some pretty big fib support that I had lined up just earlier. As we see the top of the losers list here, I know one of us had asked just beforehand, Lewis, or he was saying at least, not asking, looking to short ROST around here. And that was said at 229 right before we started this meeting. So for right now, it's still chipping around 70 right there. So Lewis might need one more break under 70 for that short, but hey, it's down at the lows of the day. It's shortable. Tell you what, for a $70 stock, the order book isn't like extremely bad. It's going to be thin, right? It's going to be probably like a 3-4 cent spread at times. You're going to see this type of thin liquidity. But comparing that to like INDO or any of like the crazy small cap like pop and drop stocks, that's actually not terrible, right? So ROST we'll put on our list here. Keep it going. Let's see. Definitely going to find a lot more on the loser side, though, as we kind of get towards the middle to the bottom of it. Not everything's down like 30%, but you might get a few that are down like 10, 12, 15%. So honestly, let me just go from bottom to top. I almost find that's like easier for me to do at times here. All right, Roblox, number 48, a stock that we are very familiar with. Ended up dropping off early this morning if you want to follow my 5-minute chart here on the left, but ended up dropping off from 35 down to sub 30, had to squeeze back up with the market. It's just flat right now, not doing a whole lot really over the last 30 minutes. AMC is showing more direction even over the last hour compared. It's been dropping off a little bit more at least heading into this afternoon. It is shortable on my platform, but if you're able to short it, I feel like AMC is like more in line to be put on our list compared to the Roblox. All right, let's see what else we got here so far. First, we'll kind of just skim the list and then we'll kind of just add them at the end. The AMC trade, at least, I wouldn't mind putting on our list. Kohl's KSS ended up dropping off earlier today. Again, if you want to follow the 5-minute chart on the left, dropped down from 43 to sub 39. It's similar to Roblox, just more of a flatter move here at this time. I'm sure you could say that even on AMC, but I felt AMC had a little bit more direction to it. You could definitely say that on a lot of other stocks. I know GOVX has been getting crushed today, dropped all the way down. From like 56, but really once it broke support off of 53, 53.20-ish, dropped down really steadily. So this is a little bit more tradable for right now, in my opinion. I'll put the NVAX trade on there. You got Bed Bath Beyond. Bobby J dropped off. It's like a slower move right now. Hey, tradable by all regards, but pass here. You don't want to make too big of a watch list. Really for any day, but let alone Friday, right? Want to keep it simple. Let's see if there's anything else. TGTX, this one, I feel like it might be slower. It's actually making like a nice little bounce back up off the lows. Took about an hour plus to get that done, but a little bounce dropped off really nicely from the morning. I could put it on our list if I really need to. Norman says it is slow. This stock, yes, maybe the market as a whole right now as well. I would say the same on both. All right. Lewis says Redbox playing games. Let me just jump to the chat here really quickly. We'll jump to the Cyber Group room first. We'll jump to YouTube after. Redbox playing games, says Lewis. Redbox was on the gainers list, number 3. It is pushing back up, right? Over the last, 5-6 minutes here, pushing back up a little bit. If it's playing games, they're roping us right in, Lewis. All right, I'll put this back on our list, the Redbox trade, RDBX. Mike asking, how about Grab? I forgot about Grab. It's moving up. I could say the same on this as I just said on TGTX, right? Similar move. Both got crushed, moving back up a little bit right now. Both tradable, both liquid, both, I think, let's grab shortable. Yeah, both shortable in case if they flop the other way. Don't have a great need to put this on the main list right now, Mike. If you did well on this trade from earlier today, yesterday, you definitely follow this then. That goes for anybody else with their sideless stocks, really. And Trinia asking, can you refocus your screen, please? Ooh, it should be focused. I know for all of us live inside the trading room, I believe it is good to go. I don't know if there's a way for me to refocus at this time, Trini. I apologize. Bill saying here inside the live trading room, there has got to be a lot of margin calls being issued today downward pressure on the market. So I want to get to that, or at least, from my eye, I could relate to what you just brought up, Bill. So how about this? Give me a quick second here. Let's see if I can do a little something. Perfect. Without freezing up my screen, just bear with me. I'm just going to clear up all these lines here. These were my lines that I plotted for this morning. There's the 391.86 that broke. But I want to show you more or less just, a couple of fib levels that I'm now following on the SPY monthly. So bear with me just for a quick second here, because normally we don't talk as much about indicators. But, when it comes to swing trading or just long-term looking for bottoms, this is something that I found pretty interesting. So I ended up doing this from the bottom of the 2008-2009 recession. The thing with indicators and really fibs in general is that, everyone has where they want to put their lines and whatnot. They argue that theirs are the best, whatnot. This is just from my perspective. So mine aren't better or worse than anyone's. It's just that I know how to use fib retracements. And with that, I'll show you at least what I was looking at. So I ended up basing this initially off the bottom here from 2008-2009, the recession there, and then ended up running a retracement all the way to the top. And I'll show you what I ended up finding. It's basically a loose approximation. So keep in mind, this is about like a 14-year time frame here, right? Pretty lengthy amount of time. It's not just like a couple of days or a week or a month, right? So interestingly enough, we have the SPY right now basically testing big support, the 23.6% retracement line from that bottom to top. Does that mean that it's going to spike right back on up and then we go back up from there? No, not at all. That is not the case. That couldn't be further from the case. It's just to say, at least for right now, we may see a bit of consolidation from the drop-off that we had. Maybe we drop off more and then close the end of the month above the 23.6. That could also happen. I'm just alluding to the fact that now we are at a historical support. Now, something else that one of my students, Norman, brought up as I was showing him this, we're at support from here. But if you actually also base it off the bottom of the pandemic, bottom of 2020 to this top, more of like a, I don't want to say micro level, but more of a shorter term time frame, you could also see that the SPY is at support, the 38.2% retracement from there. Right. So I will say 380-ish, pardon me, 380-ish, maybe like 378 to 380 on the SPY should be a pretty big historical level coming up over time. Now, if we happen to see much further continuation, at least looking at this, I would say roughly around 350 would be the next major level, at least if you're basing the retracement off the bottom of 2020 to this top. All right, so we'll see how this pans out, but I ended up realizing this at least today. Wanted to bring it to all of us here. We'll chart this over time. How about that? All right, so folks, last call. If there's anything else, up, down, left, right, more than 5%, probably down 5%, let me know. Lewis says, ROST bounced too fast for my taste, taking it off of the short list on my side. Well, if we happen to get a little short covering, perhaps off that bounce around the 380 level, then I would anticipate a squeeze, perhaps not just on the ROST, but across the board, NVAX, maybe, the red box is at the highs, right? But, NEO, AMC, all the stocks that we would just throw on the side list, look for a squeeze should that be the case. Please be the case. Please be the case. We can't have any more pain here, right? Folks, let's see what we have here across the next 70 minutes. For all of us on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube, enjoy the weekend. How about that, first off? Enjoy the weekend coming up. I know it's been getting warmer and warmer out here on the island. It's going to be like 95 out tomorrow, so it's going to be a great beach day for me. Hopefully it's a nice beach day for you. If you have any other questions, feel more than free to send it on over through email. josh@c2trading.com is my email. If you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, feel more than free to do so by going right down to the link on the yellow banner below to get yourself started. But for Lewis, for Bill, who says, sorry, Josh, forecast is for pain. And I was kind of joking there, Bill. I definitely am expecting more pain. I'm ready for it. I mean, we eat pain here, right? All right, folks. But for Bill, for Lewis, for Mike and Norman and all of us here live, I look forward to catching back with you folks coming up here just to close out for the day. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it